Hello everyone. So I just thought I would do a video on eyebrow tweezing a little bit more in depth. So I'll be honest, eyebrow tweezing is not my favourite method of hair removal for the brows. I much prefer wax just because it's much quicker. It's kind of all done in one go, so it might be a little bit painful, but it's a bit like pulling a plaster. It's done, job done. So tweezing is not my favourite method. However, I'm aware that a lot of my eyebrow ladies are tweezing at home. So I'd like to just give you a little bit of a tutorial really, some tips on where to go, where to avoid and things like that. So first of all, always make sure that your tweezers are absolutely spotlessly clean, okay? It's really, really important. Obviously when you're tweezing, you've got bits of hair left on your tweezers, you've got bits of skin, cellular debris, which can harbour and hold and breed bacteria. So make sure that you're cleaning your tools, all of your metal tools, especially for nails, tweezers, anything like that. So you can clean them with Barbicide. If you haven't got Barbicide, you can use boiling water. Just pop them in some boiling water and then give them a wipe over with some kind of disinfectant fluid or a nice wipe, and then put them somewhere nice and clean until you use them the next time. So, as with any hair removal method, you need to clean the area first of all. When you're removing hair, you are making the follicle more susceptible to infection, okay? Because you're pulling that hair out. The hair has a nice deep root, which is attached to a blood supply, which travels down through the epidermis. So you're pulling that hair from the dermis all the way through the epidermis. So once that hair comes out, there's technically an empty channel there where bacteria can get in. So we need to make sure that we're nice and clean throughout this treatment. So I'm cleansing over what I use for my clients. It smells amazing. It smells like the red Starburst sweet. I could eat it. Beautiful. So yeah, so just give your eye area a nice wipe over. I've got a little bit of makeup on today because I just did a speedy 4-minute makeup video. So just take that bit off. I'll patch it up later. Okay. Now a lot of people have been messaging me asking where to start, where to arch, where to finish. You know, it's all a little bit kind of, where do I go with it? So my eyebrows give you a kind of really good idea of where your eyebrows should be. Sorry, I got a real itch there. Shouldn't be touching my face. Yeah, so because my eyebrows are tattooed on, it kind of gives you a really good guideline of where to start, arch and finish. But if I just show you with this spatula exactly where it should be. So your first measurement should be going directly through your tear duct. So here's my tear duct. So directly up in a straight line should roughly be where your eyebrows start. If they come further in, so if they start in here, you could remove the difference between there and your tear duct. But I would never ever go past the tear duct, okay? Your eyebrows there are to frame the face. So to give a nice bit of structure and contour to the face and to frame the eyes. If you pull them too far back, it's going to pull the eyes down. If you arch them too high, you're going to look permanently surprised and shocked about something. If you pluck from the top, you're going to make them look heavy and make the lids look hooded, okay? So it is a little bit of an art craft then, let's say, or a skill to be able to do properly. So your first one is in line with your tear duct. And the last point, so the tail of the eyebrow, should be in line with the corner of the nose to the corner of the eye, and then wherever that line finishes is where the eyebrow, so where that cross section is where the eyebrow should finish, okay? And then with the arch is a little bit more difficult. So you go from the corner of the nose and you look straight forward. So it goes through the corner of the nose and then through your pupil as you are looking forward. So the pupil is the teeny little black dot in the centre of your eye. So looking forward, and wherever that cross section is where your arch should be. So I haven't got much of a high arch. I quite like kind of a soft arch. I did used to have high arches, but times are changing, brows are getting thicker, arches are getting lower. So once you've just kind of worked out exactly where you're going, where you need to remove from, if I show you a close-up of mine, they are grown, Look at those. Holy moly. So if I was working on a client now, you would obviously make sure that you had gloves on, that you had your PPE on. So just be careful yourself, make sure you're nice and clean and tidy. I've washed my hands previously, so make sure that you've done that so they're nice and clean. The next thing you need to do is hold your skin nice and taut, okay? So by taut, I mean pull it firm, okay? If you're just going in, pulling willy-nilly, you're going to be taking chunks of skin with you and it blinking hurts, okay? So the tighter you can hold your skin, if I show you in the back of my hand, the tighter it is, I'm really clenching there, you cannot grab skin, okay? However, if it's loose and baggy, I can pick up skin and that would hurt on your eyebrow area. So I'm going to start in the centre. Oh, there we go. And just pull nice and taut. My nails are horrific because I need to take off my builder in a bottle to start again. That's another video. So I'm just pulling my one brow really, really taut here. And I'm pulling the hairs in the direction of the hair growth. So I wouldn't be pulling down now because they're growing upwards. So pull them in the direction that they are growing. Pull this one. Lovely. So remember, in line with your tear duct. They can come a little bit further in if you're happy with that. Obviously we don't want to touch them, we don't want a unibrow because that gives you a stern, heavy look. Okay, so now I'm going to go underneath the brow slightly. And again, I'm pulling the brow up because this bit is so thin, so you need to be really, really careful there. And pull in the direction that the hair is growing. So this area here, you only want to take one row at a time. So I've taken one row there, I'm going to stand back and have a little look. That's not bad. It's really hard doing it in a camera. I've got a mirror down here, but you won't be able to see, so we'll crack on like this. Okay, I'm happy with that one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to this one now. So really pull because the skin here is so thin. And just one row at a time. And then stand back. If your tweezers are getting clogged with hair, just pop them into a cotton pad, give them a nice little wipe over. Freshen those up. Okay, so just assess because you want that line to be nice and straight here. So you don't want one to be starting up there and one down there or vice versa. You want them to be more or less even. Bear in mind though, ladies and gents, if there's any gents watching, your face is not completely symmetrical, so your brows cannot be completely symmetrical, okay? We can draw them on symmetrical. Sometimes we can tattoo them on symmetrical if the skull is evenly formed, okay? I've never met anyone with a completely evenly formed skull at the moment, you know, till now, because we're not. Our hands aren't identical, our feet aren't identical, and our face isn't identical, okay? So all we're looking for is to balance them out so they kind of suit each other and so that they complement each other and so that you haven't got one doing his own little thing, okay? There is a saying that eyebrows are sisters, not twins, which is quite a nice little saying. So although we can strive to get them completely symmetrical, it's very unlikely that you're going to achieve that, okay? So I'm going to move on a little bit further now. Pulling my skin really tight here, especially because I'm doing it in a camera, I can't really see. Oh, did you hear that? It's the beast. So because I got my eyebrows tattooed, I can kind of see where I'm going. So I know it's a little bit like cheating. But again, just do the bottom row, stand back and have a little look. Don't be beating in the mirror and thinking, yeah, I'm on a roll here. Pluck, 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 pluck. And then you stand back and you think, oh, heck, you've chopped it off or you've made it too skinny, okay? I'm just gonna have a little check in my mirror. Pull the skin and tweeze in the direction of hair growth. If I was working on a client, I would be holding their brows like this, and I pull it up and out, so there is no moving. So it's a little bit trickier on yourself. Okay, so the same on this side now. I so much prefer waxing. Okay. I have a little blood spot just here, completely normal. Just give it a little dab. The thicker hairs will have a bigger bulb on the end, so when they come through, sometimes they bring a little bit of blood up with them. So remember, we're tweezing in the direction of the hair growth. We are pulling the skin as tight as possible. Can you hear these coming out? I can hear them. You're also trying to tweeze just one hair at a time. It's quite tempting to think, oh, there's a bulk there, I'll just go in and grab them and pull them out. But by doing that, you're probably going to snap them, and then they're going to be harder to locate then. So it's a bit more efficient to do one at a time properly. So I've just done one row there. If you have any little excess hairs, just give me a little dust off with your cotton pad. Same on this side. And then coming down to the tail. So I'm going to pull really tight here. Now when you come down to removing hairs that are on the movable part of the lid, like these here, really, really pull that skin tight. It's quite hard to remember to go nice and slow. Usually I'm like slow. Apologise again for my nails, that's going to be my next video. Okay, same on this side. Magnifying mirror is always a good help. Although don't look in it for too long and don't overthink things, because it is magnified. So it does show you things that nobody else is going to see, so don't stress about it. I've gone into my mirror now because it's quite hard for me to do in the camera on this side. A little wipe over. I do need to have a top up on this brow. You can see it's a bit bitty on the top. With the main shapes there, just gonna whip back over a smidge. Okay. Just have a little check over there that there's no little fluffies. Lovely. Okay, tops of the brows. So when I grew up, my mum was always like, don't touch your brows, don't touch your brows. And then when I eventually said, I'm going to touch my brows, I'm going to do them, she was like, well, whatever you do not take from the top of your brow. Now that rule is is true to a certain extent. However, if you've got hairs in this kind of location, going back into your hairline, getting rid of them is only going to make your brows look more defined. Okay, so don't think, oh, they're above there, so I can't touch them. What that rule basically means is if I had hairs here, just above or in where my tattoo is there, and took those away, it would, like I said earlier, drag the look of the face down. Okay, so when people say don't pluck from above your eyebrows, they mean don't take from the body of the brow. So imagine if I took that strip out it's just going to kind of push the look of the eyebrow down. It's going to make it look too skinny and too low in the eyelid. We always want to frame and open up the eyes. We don't want to close them down and cage them, okay? So it's just about framing them nicely. So I just have a little look if I've got any randomers there. I haven't got much brow hair. Some of you already know I had alopecia on my brows when I was 15 doing my GCSEs. They all fell out, so that was fun. Which is why I've had my eyebrows tattooed for when I was like 18, and I'm 34 now. So yeah, every year. Wouldn't be without them. Highly recommend it. Okay, what I'm going to do now is show you how to give them a little bit of a trim, because some people have got longer eyebrows that need just a little bit of trimming into place. So ideally, if you have a little eyebrow brush, which I haven't got with me in here, which is annoying, I'll use my cotton pad. Brush your brow hairs up first of all, okay, and then you're going along with your scissors. Now be careful not to point your scissors directly towards your face, okay, because if you slip or stumble, we're going to be having a visit to A&E. So hold your scissors flat against your skin, okay, so we're not pointing towards it, flat against, and then we're just trimming. I really have none, should show you on Kai's. Go across and trim in to the top. What I would say as well is only nip off the very, very ends, because when you then brush it back down into shape, if you cut too much off, you will have little kind of slash lines, a bit like Brian Harvey from E17. So unless you're going for that look, trim very, very sparingly. So I'm going to brush my brow hairs down now and give them a little trim. You can see I've got a couple there. So again, hold your scissors flat against your skin this way so that we're not going to stab it. Give your skin a little bit of a stretch if you need to. I'm just nipping off the tips, like the teeniest little bit. It's best to just nip off a teeny bit. Stand back and assess. And think, yep, needs a little bit more, or yep, that's fine. I'm happy with that, that's fine. Need to do some on this side now, so I'm going to brush the hairs up. Again, if you've got a little brow brush, even better. Little snip, so you'd snip across, and across. I saw a few little fluffies come down then. And then brush your eyes down, your eyebrows down, and exactly the same. Oh, you can see them there. So underneath, and just trim in the teeny little trim. Give them a little brush. Let me just check in my mirror. Okay. Fab. So at this stage, what I would do is I just make sure that I had the definition I wanted. So nowadays, a big fluffy bushy brow is in, a bit more than a defined kind of tapered brow. Okay. However, because I've got the tattoo there, I need to stay within the tapered line really, because if I have one hair out of place of the tattoo, it's really noticeable. So it's completely up to you on how polished you'd like your brows to be. But at this stage, I just go in and I just check the border. I always think of it a little bit like colouring inside the lines. So if there's something that's outside the lines, I'm going to whip it off. Okay, if you're struggling to do this, if you're thinking, oh, I don't know which one's in, I don't know which one's out, a good little tip that I used to teach my students was to get the brow pencil and actually draw your brows on and then tweeze around them. So anything that's outside of where you've drawn on and you're happy, tweeze those couple away. Okay, obviously don't draw on a shape that's nowhere near your natural eyebrows. You're drawing a shape within the hair you've already got. Okay, otherwise when you wipe that off, you'll have no hair left. That's not cool. We're not going for that. So yeah, I'm just going to go in my mirror and just have a little prune. So I basically like everything to be in a nice smooth line, so nice and defined for me personally. If I was working on a male eyebrow, I wouldn't do it so defined. So when I do Kai's eyebrows, I leave them quite kind of scruffy, but I do take any hairs that are down on the movable part of the lid, which he hates. So same on this side. Now if you're struggling with getting your eyebrows to grow, castor oil is quite a good cheaper alternative to a lash or brow serum. However, things like Rapid Lash, Revita Lash, they're pricey, but they really, really do work. Some people are a little bit kind of skeptical and think, oh yeah, they're not going to work. They do. It's scientifically proven they work. And the way they do that is they expand the blood flow. So they vasodilate the blood flow to the hair follicle. Therefore, the hair follicle or the dermal papilla, the bulb of the hair, is given more nutrients, more oxygen, so that it can grow more efficiently. Okay, because that blood capillary has been swollen so much, it actually lasts longer as well. So the hair stays within that pocket for longer because it's got more supply. So whereas a normal hair may fall out within, you know, every 3 weeks, 4 weeks, depending on your personal hair growth cycle, these will last a little bit longer. So the hairs have got more time to grow longer. So you definitely do see results. You need to use them for at least a month though before you start to see, and you do need to use them continuously. If you stop using them, your blood supply will shrink back to the normal amount and your hairs will gradually get thinner and a little bit thinner like they previously were. They won't go back further than they were before, they'll just go back to their original state. Okay, hope that was helpful, guys. Like I said, I'm not really a fan of tweezing myself. I'd much rather with the wax, but just to support you a little bit, I did do my post with my little diagram, but obviously it's quite hard to follow a diagram, so I thought I'd do a quick video so you could have a little look and tweeze along with me. Hope you're all well. See you soon. Bye.